to support the program and the students who have worked so very hard over the last couple of weeks to put on this show for you tonight. And with that, I'm going to welcome the AV High School ROTC for the presentation of colors and Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Next, I'm going to welcome our trio of singers for the night to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing for us.
Lift every voice and sing
till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty.
Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies.
Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
The rising sun of a new day begun.
Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won.
Shiver the straps and rod. Felt in the days when hope and born I died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place of which our fathers died.
We have come over a way that the tears have been watered. We have come to a path through the blood of the slaughter. Yo, I'm from the gloomy past till now we stand at last with the white gleam of our star is cast.
God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, though that has brought us this far on the way. Though that us by thy might, let us into the light. Keep us forever on the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray, other places, our God, where lest the wine's drunk, in the word of the Lord, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand.
True to our God, true to our native land.
see how many times I can come out here before we get tired of me. Now I get to tell you a little bit about myself. I graduated from Eastside High School in 2021. And since graduating, I've been out here at ABC majoring in early childhood education, hoping to graduate in the fall. I first came into the Justice Sunday program in 2020, the virtual year. What a first year to have. And when I first signed up, I did it because my older brother did it the year before. But when I first signed up, I did not expect to come as far as I have with the program. And I have a couple people to thank for that. First, Nigel Hawley for giving me the opportunity to come back and continue to mentor. And I want to give a very special shout out to our first alumni president, Mr. Joseph Ramirez, who is in the audience with us tonight. I owe my entire presidential experience to him for laying such amazing groundwork for me to be able to step into those shoes and fill that role in leading and mentoring all of the new students who come into the program. So thank you, Joseph. And since coming into the program, I've had the opportunity to meet so many amazing people, public officials, politicians, nonprofit owners, business owners, who I would not have had the opportunity to connect with had it not been for Justice Sunday. And I love what I do, so I would continue to do it every day of my life. So with that, before I ramble on with nonsense for much longer, I'm going to invite Superintendent Greg Nehan if he has any last words he would like to share with us.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Such a great day to be here. I do want to take a moment and welcome our board vice president, Ms. Carla Corona. She's with me in the front row. We want to thank her for joining us. To our amazing students and our alumni students that have come back to bring this production to fruition, thank you for your hard work, your sacrifice over the break. Bishop, as always, thank you for being here, for your beacon in the community. We appreciate you. And you'll never see him in the front, but Nigel Hawley, this is because of you. We're here because you bring it all together. So thank you, Nigel. And on behalf of the district, I welcome you, and I hope everybody enjoys the show.
Okay, our next distinguished speaker for the evening is the man himself, Justice Sunday alumni member and deputy mayor of the city of Lancaster, Sean Cannon.
Thank you, India, and good evening to all of you. Over half a century ago, in one of the most segregated parts of the South, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested for protesting Jim Crow. And then he wrote the letters from Birmingham jail. Support for the civil rights movement at this time had dwindled because people were risking being fired and someone even risking their lives for fighting for injustice. At a local congregation meeting, a call was put out for people who were willing to go to jail, to fill up the jail with drum majors for justice. For a while, nobody stood up but the children. Dr. King was against involving children because of the obvious risks that were involved, but those student organizers pressed on. And on May 2nd, 1963, what we call D-Day, over 1,000 students walked out of the classes and gathered at the 16th Street Baptist Church to march to downtown Birmingham. When they approached police lines, hundreds were arrested and carried off to jail in paddy wagons, and they even had to call school buses. And then there were 100 more they had to arrest, and then a few hundred more the following day for another march. Public Safety Commissioner Bull Connor directed the local police and fire departments to use force to stop the demonstration. We've all know of the infamous images of young people being blasted with fire hoses and police dogs and being beaten by police. Those images triggered outrage throughout the world. But determined, these young people continue to march on, organizing action for what is now known as the Children's Crusade. This moved President John F. Kennedy to express support for federal civil rights legislation and eventually the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Now, we are here tonight to support our young people and their hard work for putting on this production. But we want you to know that Justice Sunday is so much more than storytelling. It is also about the passing of a baton to the next generation of Crusaders. Struggle is a never-ending process, Coretta Scott King said. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and you win it in every generation. Under the leadership of Bishop Hearns and Nigel Hawley, our youth have been exposed to a community of mentorship, growth, employment, and higher learning. Right now, there are 3 Justice Sunday alumni serving as city officials. President India has been instrumental in creating solidarity for our youth. Our alumni have gone to colleges all over this nation and are America's next generation of educators, lawyers, scientists, leaders, and so much more. The Children's Crusade is just one example of significant progress led by engaged young people in the right direction. Most of the founders of this nation were under the age of 40. We've learned throughout history that progress is made when young people lead. Over these past few weeks, I've seen these young people work. I know that the future of our community is in good hands. Peer mentorship is a cornerstone of what we do here at Justice Sunday. So I'd like to introduce you to someone who has been working so hard to put all of this together. She is an after-school educator and the head of choreography for tonight's show, my fellow Justice Sunday alumni, Ginger Carruthers.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ginger Carruthers. I performed for Justice Sunday for 2 years, and now I am back as an alumni, mentoring this wonderful group of students. Today, you're going to be entertained by this play, Eclectic Take 2, which was written by students under the 5 tenets of Justice Sunday: leadership, networking, public speech, research, and writing. Here at Justice Sunday, we strive to educate through entertainment, and I hope you all love this play as much as I have loved help bringing it to life. Now, without further ado, Eclectic Take 2.
In this relationship, I reminisce on the times you did me wrong over distance. The cold hard matches the water of the ships. Life is hard when living under whips. Life is hard when living under whips. Ignoring the call of resistance. Ignoring the call of resistance. Why can't you remember? Why can't you remember me? My bleeding heart sank to the soil. I toiled to give my all to you, and you took everything, freely dehumanizing me. However, I cling to the liberty that you never let me see. Never let me see. Never let me see. Never let me see. Ignoring the call of resistance. Ignoring the call of resistance. Why can't you acknowledge? Why can't you acknowledge me?
You've selfishly captured all my time. Crying myself to sleep is my nightly truth. Sunrise to sunset, I slave for you. You remain emotionless towards my rhythm and blues. Rhythm and blues. Rhythm and blues. Rhythm and blues. Ignoring the call of resistance. Ignoring the call of resistance. Why can't you accept me? Why can't you respect me?
Captured visions of what freedom brings. My soul captures a distant dream of the faith that the scriptures sing. To the end I shall see this thing through. I can't keep ignoring the call of resistance. No longer ignoring the call of resistance. Why can't you acknowledge me? Why can't you love me? Life is hard when living under whips. Life is hard when living under whips.
What is music?
Music comes in many forms, such as dance.
What's dance? Jumping around?
No, more like a rhythmic trance, the sway of sounds and beats.
So like when I tap my feet?
Yes, and so much more. It's where harmony meets melody.
Tell me more, like what is music for?
It's what feelings sound like, emotions conveyed.
Emotions conveyed?
Freedom under bondage, the escape of the slave.
My escape is music?
Yes, and it speaks with the voice of our ancestors from their ocean-covered graves.
It's truth of culture and rebellious at its core.
It's the waves crashing on the shore.
The whistles of howling winds.
It convicts the hard hearts and repents America's sins. Music is universal. It's more than just words.
It's a song of birds as they soar through the air.
It's a feeling. It's a symphony.
Or love infinitely?
It's love, but love can hurt.
So it also speaks of our sorrows.
But more importantly, it speaks of our tomorrows. Since the age of 8, I have been educated in France. This was when I found fencing. I was an amazing fencer, one of the best in my time. I've only lost one match, and to this day, it is my most significant defeat. My love lies in music. Music has gotten me through some of the toughest times, like the French War. The war was caused by a lack of governments and an economic depression. Music helps soothe the chaos and turn it into a lovely symphony. I love composing music, and of course, my violin. Black Mozart was what I was called because color was the only thing that people would see.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
See that band all dressed in white.
God's gonna trouble the water.
The leader looks like the Israelite.
God's gonna trouble the waters. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
See that band all dressed in red.
God's gonna trouble the waters.
It looks like the band that Moses led.
God's gonna trouble the waters. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble 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 the water.
Music will change our tomorrows. It'll dry our weeping eyes. It'll lessen our sorrows.
Life is hard when living under whips. Life is hard when living under whips. Life is hard when living under whips. Life is hard when living under whips.
Man, this place is the bee's knees. This is exactly what the people in Harlem need. You know, the people. Everybody's sitting here having a great time in their glad rags, but businesses could be better.
I could not but overhear you saying that business could be better, and I think you're right.
What are you going on about?
I can make this place a whole bunch of dough. I could get more dancers and singers up in here. All you gotta do is take this check.
Now listen here, Club Deluxe is not for sale, so you might as well dry up and run along now.
How about I sweeten up the pot?
How sweet you trying to make it? Oh, okay.
We got a deal?
Club Deluxe is all yours, brother.
Oh, this joint ain't the Club Deluxe no more. It'll now be named the Cotton Club. I'll bring African-American artists to perform for the more wealthy, circumflexed folks. And maybe even let some black folks in as well.
And I'm gonna have a great time with my money. Can we say early retirement, people?
Oh, my muse? My musical muse. I'm most afraid slavery is still around, but my master set me free. And I no longer have a home, nor is my last home a home, but is much safer than this world that is full of hatred. I just want to express my poetry, my amazing poetry that has gotten me through these God-forbidden years.
Hey, no Negroes allowed in here, you hear? Now run along.
No, please, I need a job. I need a place to stay.
There ain't no job for you here. Now shoot before the others see you out here.
No, I'm a performer. I can perform at your bar.
Perform what?
I'm a poet. I write poetry, you see?
A Negro that writes. If this ain't a bonus bonus, in other words, I ain't buying it.
Yes, I was well educated. My slave master educated me and let me indulge in poetry. I know it's unusual, but it's true. Just let me share my art to the world. I'm begging you. I'll do it for a low price, even free. It's dangerous out here, and I don't expect you to understand. I'm just seeking sanctuary, somewhere safe. Please, can I stay?
Fine, fine, you can stay. But you'll perform every night, you hear? You work only for tips. You can live upstairs. Get it?
Thank you, thank you. This is much appreciated. You won't regret this.
What is you humming?
Well, when I was enslaved, many of our slaves made songs. We called them Negro spirituals. God, they were beautiful. We used them to remind us of Africa,
our home.
I thought you were treated good. And you go to school?
Oh, I was, but my brothers and sisters weren't. I would go down to the plantation fields to sing and dance with them, to feel the spirit of music run through my bones.
Why aren't you beaten and bloody from them whips like the rest?
Well, my masters saw my potential, my talent in poetry. They didn't want to mess it up. They hoped to make some money off the book I wrote. But it didn't roll in the United States. Instead, England sold tons of my books. But no one in America is gonna believe that these words that lifted off my pen were written by a black woman. We are just stupid animals that they get used for free labor. Our education is limited to make us not know that there is better out there for us. To believe that all this suffering we endure is for a bigger cause. None of this is for a bigger cause. We were stripped from our families, beaten bloody, worked tirelessly, all because we're black, all because we do not share the same ancestry, all because you are from Europe and I am from Africa.
Smokestack lightning shining just like gold. Why don't you hear me cry? Ooh, whoa, tell me, baby. You no more. Why don't you hear me cry? Ooh, whoa, been your baby since I've been gone. A little bitty boy, girl, be yours.
I'm in need of a job or a place to stay. You see, I just escaped slavery and I'm scared. It was hard. I'm tired. I can't go back there anymore.
Okay, calm down, calm down. It's okay. I understand if it's okay with the Oni here. We can split my room upstairs and I can teach you poetry. We can perform together at this bar. It's okay, no need to be afraid. It's safe.
And if I know one thing, ain't nobody coming here messing with Oni. You're safe.
Oh, look at expanding that room upstairs, moving some chairs and tables out of there. I reckon business is gonna be on the rise with you two.
Now, what's your name, sweetie?
Sojourner.
Sojourner what? Don't you have a last name?
Yes, ma'am. Truth. Sojourner Truth.
Well, isn't that a beautiful name? I am a strong woman. I stand with, sorry. You can see the fire burning in my eyes. It's not by the strength of a powerful muscle, but the hand that is feeding my soul. I am a strong woman.
That sees beyond the veil, walking on clouds. As virtue they become, my cushion, my syllables of words unspoken, carriages of beliefs, rainbows painted upon my heart that seals my energy.
I am a strong woman. I stand between the two poles, darkness and light, my arms extended to keep them straight. Might comes from the most powerful source.
I don't rely on the potencies of the flesh that weakens me with pour for pour.
The power within my only authority, so vivid and immense, remains. I am a strong woman.
Captured visions of what freedom brings. My soul captures a distant dream.
How you doing, Sojourner?
Losing her has left a hole in my heart. I learned everything from Phyllis. She was my sister. She shared her talents and passed on her amazing love of poetry, and I can't wait to share it with the world. Now that slavery has been abolished, I can finally live out my dream. I can live out Phyllis's dream, being an equal rights activist, fighting for what we all deserve. Because it shouldn't matter if I'm black, white, man, or woman. America needs to hear my words, my speeches, my poems.
The words are amazing, and I'm sure you'll do great in the ever-challenging world ahead of you. You won't have any trouble navigating it. You still carry Phyllis with you. She's in your heart.
Are you sure you're gonna be okay in this big bar of yours?
Well, actually, now that you're leaving and business isn't as crazy as it used to be, I'm thinking of selling and kicking off these old dusty bar shoes. I'm sure someone can make the most of this old place. I'll miss her, though.
What about turning her into a jazz club since that's getting all popular?
A jazz club? Really?
Jazz ain't that bad. Geez, old man, line up.
Confidently embracing my rhythm and blues, my rhythm and my blues, my rhythm and my blues,
No! You don't get to treat me like this. I have been standing up here giving you the best performance of my life. You all sit there entitled, but you bought tickets for my show, didn't you? I am a world-renowned singer, the first Negro to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City. I have toured internationally and performed at the White House for presidents. So I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. You boo me, why? Because I don't look like you? Slavery is abolished. The 13th Amendment has been passed. We have the option to live free. So you are not more entitled than I am. I have dedicated my life to my studies in opera, and I sing my melody because God filled my soul with it.
It's out quick. What a turn of events.
I'm so tired of this crap. Why is it that I get treated any different than any other opera singers?
It's because we ain't one of them. Watch out. Hi, I'm Scott Joplin, and this is...
I just can't. They are so disrespectful. I earn these medals that I wear. I have worked so hard to make a name for myself, to help people feel something through my music, but I can't if the only thing they see is my color. They don't see my talent or hear my voice, they just see color.
Cicieretta, we have to make them see us for who we are. Our color may be a distraction, but our music can change hearts. And we have to embrace our color, learn to use it to our advantage, and remember to always love ourselves, sister.
What if, and this is just an idea, if I created my own group with comedians, dancers, acrobats, and singers? We can call it the Mama Jones Troubadours, the greatest color show on earth. I get chills just thinking about it.
The greatest show on earth. I hope my music one day will be remembered as the best. Maybe even the king of ragtime. I don't know. You see, I was born into an enslaved family, so imagine me sitting here in front of thousands of people playing my piano, and the rags I've composed seemed impossible. But life is changing for the greater good, where rag will be expected and appreciated, and it all starts with one person taking the first steps, and one day, we, as artists, will be remembered as great. I've been trying to compose this new rag, and I don't know how I want it to sound. That's beautiful. I think I'll use that for my new rag. Why, hello there.
Hey, mister, your music is amazing.
Why, thank you. What's your name?
My name is Baby Esther.
Do you know how to play the piano?
No, but I do know how to sing boop boop beep doop.
That's beautiful.
Thanks, mister.
I've seen the world, done it all, had my cake now. Diamonds, brilliant, and Bel Air now. Hot summer nights, mid-July, when you and I were forever wild. The crazy days, city lights, the way you'd play with me like a child. Will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? Will you still love me when I've got nothing but
is my favorite club. I perform here almost every night.
Doing here? Thought you were off tonight.
I am. I just wanted to come by and see you.
Gosh, how can be a workaholic and you can't even attend yet? Oh, welcome to the Cotton Club with the blacks before. No, others, Judge.
Moms, if you don't get on that stage right now, we need to lighten up the mood. And Esther, what are you doing here? Isn't it your day off?
Gosh, can a girl live and enjoy the club without being told she gotta work?
Moms, if you don't get on that stage right now. And why don't you sit and enjoy the show, Esther?
Can't you see I'm an old granny?
I'd like to welcome everyone's favorite comedian, Moms Mabley.
Hey, child, I'm Moms Mabley. I've been a star since I was born. I know I shouldn't be that confident, but if you look like me, who wouldn't be?
Why would anyone want to look like you?
Why would anyone want to like me, child? Because I'm fine, looking like a well-seasoned piece of fried chicken. Unlike you, looking like you got slapped with a bag full of hot nickels. Now, I'm gonna tell you a story.
So what's the story you want to tell me, Mabley?
So there was this man I ran into at a train station, and this idiot family were blocking the train's main entrance. This guy and his family ain't doing nothing but standing there. So I go up to him, tap on the shoulder, and say, "Hey, buddy, you, Mama Bear, and all your little cubs need to get on this train so the rest of us folks can get on." And you want to know what he do? He looked back at me, and you want to know what he told me?
What did he tell you, Mabley?
He told me, "Woman, stay in a woman's place." No. And you want to know what I did next?
What you do next, Mabley?
Well, I did what any rational person would do.
And what's that?
I pushed him in front of the train, and I pushed him Rugrats too.
Miss Mabley, you sure are a character. Well, folks, that's Moms Mabley, the hilarious Moms Mabley. Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to tell friends and family about the Cotton Club, and we'll see you next time, folks.
See, the audience loves me. Is that bad?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, child. How you be? Oh my God, my back.
I've been great.
This is Burt Williams, the first black man to be in the play.
Yeah, no need to brag, but I was in the Two Real Coons to hit Broadway show.
You make a big name for yourself by playing bad in folk rules. I don't know. It's not sitting right with me.
I worked for this, Moms. I was uneducated. How do you expect me to read a script? The role I got may have been because I was black, but I made the most out of that role. I was one of the first. I made history. You're doing the same thing here performing for these people that don't give you the time of day.
Okay, baby. Mom's Bible says, "Judge not yet ye be judged." So I'm sorry for making a fuss about your role. I'm just saying, this big old world is messed up. Here we are, solid entertain these folks. I don't know, guessing. I'm just sitting here, waiting by the day. It's not so hard for us.
Did you know this bar was owned by a black man and now it is white-owned with only their people allowed in, while we have to entertain them with what they call authentic black entertainment?
You see, Moms? We're not the only ones that feel this way. I'm sure everyone in this bar has experienced this type of pain, but there ain't nothing we could do about it.
I know, baby.
My own family, the people that I love, the people that support me the most, can't even watch me do what I do best.
I know. I know, baby. We just gotta hold on to the hope just a little longer.
Well, y'all pray for me, because I don't see it.
Well, I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh, yeah. Say, I got a woman way over town, good to me. Oh, yeah. She give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a kind of friend indeed. I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh, yeah. She says loving early in the morning just for me. Oh, yeah. She says loving early in the morning just for me. Oh, yeah. She says loving just for me. Yeah, she loves me so tenderly. I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh, yeah. She's there to love me both day and night. Never grumbles or fusses, always treats me right. Never running in the streets and leaving me alone. She knows a woman's place is right there now in her home. I got a woman way over town that's good to me.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Charles Robinson presiding.
Good morning, ladies and Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Calling the case of Helen Kane versus Fleischer Studios. Is all parties present?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. You gotta go ahead and sit down. It's gonna be a hot mess.
Ready for the defense, Your Honor.
Ready for the prosecution, Your Honor.
Defense, you may call upon your first witness.
Helen Kane is suing Fleischer Studios, presented by Max and Dave Fleischer, for wrongful charging, competition, and appropriation in a Betty Boop character. I now call my client, Helen Kane, to the stand.
Ready for opening statements, I allow Helen Kane and those presiding to follow.
Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I am here today to speak on the vile wrongdoing upon me and my career that I have single-handedly built for myself. This character Fleischer Studios has created was based off of me. They stole my phrase and gave me nothing for it. I need to represent those who didn't have a—
Betty Boop was not based on you. The Fleischer Company would like to speak on who Betty Boop really is.
The idea of our character, Betty Boop, came from a young girl, baby Esther.
I remember that girl. She was like me, born with music in me. It was part of my body or a heart of my lungs, or something like that.
This is an ode to me, baby Esther, a very tragic case, however no one really cared. Date of death unknown, existence all void. The only remembrance of me, a white cartoon character. Boop boop beep doop.
You are wrongfully accusing Helen of knowing this lady when she didn't even know her personally.
She take my money when I'm in need. Oh, she a trifling friend indeed. Hey, she a gold digger. Hey, yo. Defense, you may respond.
We would like to bring forward that Helen did in fact see baby Esther perform and then portrayed the character as her own.
Such a familiar sound, many of you may know, but it was stolen from me, just like how my life was. All my accomplishments gone in the blink of an eye, all because I didn't have the fair skin that my counterparts did. They didn't even let me die in peace. There was a whole court case. They fought over the character that I made, as if my existence didn't matter.
Helen, would you like to say some things to defend your case?
This is absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea who baby Esther is. Whoever she is, she obviously isn't important because where is she now? She's not here. This isn't even about you. After I get done with this case, I'm going after Paramount next.
Objection, Your Honor. Irrelevant information.
Sustained. Helen Kane, be sure to focus on the case, cuz I'ma tell your mama, tell your pop. I'ma take you back to Arkansas. She don't do me right, she don't do me right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I got to travel the world, from America to Europe. I was performing. Yet still, my existence was a mere memory that not many people know. Why is that? What made my life, my existence, seemingly worthless? Boop, boop, beep, doop.
I am Betty Boop. I am who you see. I am miscredited. I am a part of the gay and wonderful 50s. My first record was for my dearest Victor at the Paramount Theater while Paul Ash was the one who gave me my start. The first time I embodied my phrase, boop, doop, de doop, was for my beloved song, That's My Weakness Now. Now I was adored. I was questioned, but it was my form of rhythm. I am Betty Boop. I am the baby Bam character you hear. I am her. I am Betty Boop. I am Betty Boop.
Okay, order! Order! Yo, 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 yo. We still need to hear more from Fleischer Company.
The Fleischer Company works hard to produce entertaining cartoons for the public. We are known for our wonderful cartoons and will not just sit and let our reputation fall. Baby Esther was a wonderful young woman. She had an amazing voice, and sadly, we were the reason her character was stripped away. Helen Kane has no place in this character!
When Max and I introduced the character Betty Boop, we did not realize it would distract from the baby Esther character. However, I would like to bring up that there's no copyright under the baby Esther name. Carbon copy or not, no law can defend this case without having legal proof that this case in fact belongs to them. We have covered the charges in the Fleischer Studios, making this nothing than illegal miscommunication.
Baby Esther is my name. Betty Boop is my character. I was young, I didn't know. They took my face, they took my image. They made me fit their standard of beauty. Lightened face, skinny body, European features.
Okay.
Crazy!
I've heard enough from both sides. And with the information given, I'm really in favor of Baby Esther. Hey! It was her character, and it was stripped away because of Helen Kane, Max, and Dave Fleischer. Make it do what it do, baby. Esther.
I was a child being forced to perform. I was a child and I won my first award. I was a child and I became an international performer. I was a child and I died. I was just a child. Boop, boop, be-doop.
What'd you say?
Boop, boop, be-doop.
Hit the road, Jack.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Chill. There's no need for all that. Wait a second. You know, my father was a soldier who I never met because he was in and out of my life surviving the military. I fell in love with reggae music, and it made me who I am. Everywhere is war until the color of a man's skin holds no other significance than the color of a man's eyes. There is war until the basic human rights are guaranteed to all, with no regard to race. I wish for peace, no wars, no violence, just peace. You are a soldier, so you do not understand. Today they say we are free, only to be chained in poverty. There is no escape. We expect the government to set us free, but they only seem to take. I respect your service, but I will never understand how you can kill a person and see them as nothing. You look in the mirror every day and think you're a saint? The only thing you are saving is America's hate.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Said I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown. Over serving the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we meet.
Let's just do this show and go home.
You're giving attitude to me, Anime? You better watch who you're talking to now.
Stop! Don't grab me like that. Now when we're about to go on stage, I deserve a little respect.
You don't deserve anything, you hear? I formed this band back in 1950. You understand the work that goes into all this? Picking out these damn outfits for you? 1951 in Memphis, where we recorded our first song. Who was the man that took you in? Who was the man that chose to marry you in 58? Who was the man that gave you your damn stage name? You don't just represent me, Anime. You represent Sue's labels. Thousands of people depend on this. You're worthless, useless, don't deserve any respect at all. Remember how replaceable the name Tina Turner really is.
Nana, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of being beaten. I'm just so tired.
Oh, Tina, I'm sure he didn't mean to hurt you. You know, men don't know how to handle their emotions. The good balances out the bad, Tina.
No, it doesn't, Nana. You don't understand. I'm hurting. I can't anymore.
Yes, you can, Tina. You need to believe in yourself, Tina. You need this money, okay? What are we gonna do without it? You need to deal with it like I dealt with it. Now pick yourself up. There you go. And go sing that song.
Maybe it isn't that bad. I need the money. We need the money. I could go a little longer.
Get yourself together.
Ike, stop treating me like this. I can't keep living like this. I deserve some respect. I'm not going on stage. I'm not gonna perform with someone who thinks so little of me.
5 minutes, Anime. You got yourself 5 minutes to get yourself on that damn stage.
You're okay. You're okay. I have to pick myself up and face the music. I have to be strong, like Nana always says, and find the balance of good and bad. I'm tired of being abused and beaten until my face is bloody and swollen. This is not a marriage. I'm in this abusive facade. of a heartbreaking, spear cracking, the idea of a marriage that keeps me in a cage and used like a doll. But I will get away from Mike soon and start my own career and become the soloist I've always dreamed of. I just have to hang on a little longer and find the balance I so desperately need.
Whoa, there's something on my mind. Won't somebody please, please tell me what's wrong?
You're just a fool, you know you're in love.
What you say?
Face it, to live in this world. You take the good along with the bad.
No.
Sometimes you're happy and sometimes you're sad.
One more time.
You know you love him, you can't understand why he treats you like he do when he's such a good man.
Now listen, he's got me smiling when I should be ashamed. Got me laughing when my heart is in pain. Oh no, I must be a fool. 'Cause I do anything he wants me to do. Now how come? You know you're in love.
Tell me one more time.
You gotta face it to live in this world. You take the good along with the bad.
Oh,
Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad.
One more time.
You know you love him, you can't understand why he treats you like he do when he's such a good man. No, listen, without the man, I don't wanna live. You think I'm lying, but I'm telling you like it is. He's got my nose open, that's no lie. I'm gonna keep him satisfied. Now how come?
You know you're in love.
One more time.
Face it, to live in this world.
Oh no.
You take the good along with the bad.
On with the bad.
Sometimes you're happy and sometimes you're sad.
Oh no.
You know you love him,
You can't understand
why he treats you like he do when he's such a good man.
ways of action speak louder than words. The truest sound that I ever heard. I trust a man and all that he do. And I'll do anything he wants me to do. Now how come?
You know you're in love.
Tell me one more time.
You gotta face it to live in this world. You take the good along with the bad. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad.
One more time.
You know you love him, you can't understand
about it.
why he treats you like he do when he's such a good man. Oh, tell me, do, one more time. Oh no, one more time. Tell me about it. Do.
In this relationship, I reminisce times they did me wrong over distance. Cold heart matches the water of the ships. Life is hard when living under whips. Life is hard when living under whips.
to Take Two and Bark, everybody. Our guest today is the queen of the rap game, certified double platinum, Lil' Kim.
And 3-time Grammy Award winning, you know her, you love her, Lizzo! All right, Lil' Kim, you're one of the baddest in the rap game and such an inspiration for many. Why don't you tell us who you are aside from the fame and what you did to get here before you give us this amazing performance?
I mean, I had to get it out the mud coming from Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a time when I was homeless and didn't know where I was gonna stay for the night. And I ain't trying to sugarcoat it. I faced so much abuse, from being choked to a gun being pulled on me. Then I found Biggie. And you know he put me through it. He helped me build my fame when other men didn't want nothing to do with me. Now I'm here and can't nobody do nothing to change that.
Woo! Amazing story, Kim. Let's give it up for her and her struggles. Woo! You ready to kill this next performance?
Yeah, here we go. I'm about to blow y'all away real quick. Only female in my crew when I kick it. Ain't never been a guy, but regardless, I still did it. I'm 10 steps ahead, but my struggles never skipped it. You hating on me, but you buying all my tickets. No matter what y'all say, I got it going on. Kept doing my thing, and I promise I ain't done. Moving towards the money, get the power, then respect. Do it how I want, and I ain't never been checked. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing performance, Kim. Now let's hear a few words from you, Lizzo. Why don't you tell us a bit about your journey as an artist?
Let's show her some love!
Hi, I think all of you guys know who I am. So I've been in this artist industry for like a good while now. I just love creating my own music ever since I moved from one state to another. As you all can very well tell, I'm very ambitious and enthusiastic. I just love music, but I was able to get into this industry of pure art by my mentor, executive director, helper, and inspiration. You all know him, Prince.
Kim, who was your mentor or who influenced you most throughout your journey?
I mean, I gotta say my mentor is definitely Tina Turner. I mean, she been through it with Ike, and we all know about that physical abuse, but that mental that follows is no joke. Woo. But all that being said, she still got on that stage and did her thing. And that's some of the strongest stuff I've ever seen. I mean, she didn't let what he did stop her shine or dim her light. She definitely earned my respect 100%.
I feel that. She's a great role model for all women. Let's give a round of applause for Tina.
Woo! So, Lizzo, a little birdie at the network told me today that you have a special guest with you.
Oh, yeah, is that right, girl? Everybody make some noise for the one and only artist formerly known as Prince!
Hello to all you beautiful people in the audience. Hello, Lizzo.
Hi. Cracker lacking. It's an honor to have you on the show today, Prince. You know, we know you're very selective about your public appearances. That's why he's only here on Take Two and Park.
Honestly, it's an honor to be here with everyone today. Lizzo asked, and I just couldn't refuse.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, we would love to know how you and Lizzo met each other.
Well, when I first saw Lizzo perform, I immediately knew that that's the talent that I needed on my track, Boy Trouble. The music in her spoke to the music in me.
I was so excited when he asked me to rap on his song. He really helped me get my start in this industry, and honestly, I can never, ever thank him enough for that.
How do you feel about the temperature of our country today?
Well, I myself struggled with a lot of body image issues, from people wondering if I was black or white, gay or straight, man or woman. But I believe that the movements of our today are helping our people strengthen themselves to not let anyone abuse them or their power. Woo. Music has played such a huge role in our history. We are the soundtrack for the world. And I believe if you play the right song, everyone in the studio will get up and start dancing. Music brings us together and tears down those barriers between us. Wouldn't you agree, Lizzo?
Absolutely. I, myself, have dealt with a lot of body image issues. People only seem to want to talk about my body and not my talent. But I could care less about what those standards are. I am here to teach people to love themselves, regardless of what the public or anyone else has to say about it. I am a body icon, and I teach people to love themselves. And music is my conduit.
So, on that note, Lizzo, why don't you go and give us a performance right here, right now?
Let's give her some encouragement.
Lizzo, 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 Lizzo. Woo!
Thought that I didn't care. I thought I was loving Pam, but baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm crying 'cause I love you.
Prince, why don't you come up here and sing a song for us?
I can't, I'm not prepared.
Come on, everybody, show him some love.
Prince, Prince,
Prince, Prince, Prince, Prince, Prince, Prince, Prince, Prince, Prince, Prince.
Turn down the lights, turn down the bed, turn down these voices inside my head. Lay down with me, tell me no lies, just hold me close and don't patronize. Don't patronize me, 'cause I can't make you love me if you don't, 'cause I can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, in these final hours, I will lay down my heart and I'll feel the power, but you won't, but you won't, 'cause I can't make you love me if you don't. Work it out.
Do you? Do you love me? Look at me.
I'm looking.
No, I can't, no, no, I can't make you love me.
Uh-oh. All right, let's give a round of applause for all the amazing artists that joined us on the show today.
Thank you all for watching today's show. We'll see you next time on
Take Two and Part. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Share, 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 share.
I'm moving on with or without you. I'm learning to celebrate my own truth, regaining the history in store for me, confidently embracing my rhythm and blues, my rhythm and my blues, my rhythm and my blues, my rhythm and my blues. Why can't you acknowledge me? Why can't you respect me? Why can't you love me? Why can't you accept me? My rhythm will help me triumph, despite the blues and grief that you cause me. Breaking chains will be our melody. I proclaim racial harmony. Till the end I shall see this thing. Till the end I shall see this thing. Till the end I shall see this thing through.
Together we will create racial harmony. Together we will create racial harmony. Together we will create racial harmony. Life is hard when living under whips.
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 Life is hard when living under whips. Life is hard when living under whips.
Promise, this is the last time you'll hear from me tonight. Let's give it up again for all of our performers tonight. They did an amazing job. Okay. Let's get them all out here for our last curtain call, starting with our singers, Mia, Danny, and Bill. Next up, we have our wonderful dancers, Jayla, Mona Lisa, Shyla, Skylar, Farouk, Bailey, Vanessa, Elizabeth, Janai, Cordell, Malachi, Eden, James, Danny, and Jamira. Can my male dancers come out here and bow? And Elizabeth hiding in the curtains. Some of them you'll see more than once. Okay, let's get into our actors. First up, we have Betty Ann and Nigel. I just want to apologize to my actors if I list you in a different order than you practiced. I'm just going by the program. Okay, then Deborah, Zai, and Eden. Bailey and Mariana. Cordell, Vanessa, Janai, Elizabeth, and Shania. Brianna and Shane. Liam, Ruby, and Farouk. Malachi and Cordell. Taino, Skylar, and Emilio. Zai, Daisy, Journey, James, and Danny. And last, but certainly not least of our actors, Jamira and Michael. Let's get a round of applause for our student tech crew. Crystal, Zoe, Apollo, Ashlyn, Elia, and Shane. And Thariah. I didn't forget you, I promise. Let's get a round of applause for our student leadership, Betty Ann, Elizabeth, and Journey. And an extra special round of applause for both our head student writer and the wonderful young lady who took on our lighting cues tonight, Valeria. Then I'm going to welcome out our team of alumni volunteers who took on not only helping us out backstage tonight, but they were also our writing coaches, our acting coaches, and our choreographers. So if they want to pop out and wave, now would be the time. Then let's give it up for our Justice Sunday alumni board members, Akiko on music direction. And Miss Jennifer Sanchez out in the audience, who is not only our Justice Sunday alumni vice president, but this week she was sworn in as a new commissioner on the City of Lancaster Social Equity Commission. And she is not the only one holding a new position. Mr. Giovanni Christian Pope is now the chairman of the commission. And finally, to end the night, I'm honored to ask Bishop Henry Hearns and Nigel Hawley to come up to close us out. I'll just meet you over there. I'm coming, guys. Let me not fall off the stage.
There you go. Hey, that's pretty cool. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard earlier that one of the things that we're supposed to do if we really care about our community is to do everything that we can do while we can do it. But while we're doing it, look among ourselves for the younger generation and see who we can find that will grab the bull by the horn and continue to carry on our community and take it upwardly. And I was so fortunate and so blessed and so honored of the Lord to run into this gentleman here who became a part of our church, I don't know how many years ago? 22 years ago. Nigel Hawley. And of course, there were many others in the community that I think may have been able to do some things, but Nigel somehow or the other had what I felt that could take a licking and keep clicking. And any leader, and I think Greg and all of our politicians and all can tell you this, that if you're not able to take a licking, you cannot be a leader. because there's always going to be somebody who want to knock you down. Now, so I'm so honored and so thankful for the opportunity to have been able to, many years ago, a young lady who was out at Edwards Air Force Base, and I'll shut this down here and hand it over to Nigel. But out at Edwards Air Force Base, who worked out at the prison out at Bull Run. And we had people out there that were able to sing and to do a lot of different things. So I got tangled up with her, Addie Richburg. And Miss Addie Richburg ended up going on into Washington, D.C. and getting involved. And so when our good friend, 55 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King, who fell at the hand of a bullet, but his soul, his spirit, his mind, his feelings, his desire, and everything he had, he put in to making America to be the best America could be. So somehow I got tangled with her, and that was way back then. And when Dr. Martin Luther King fell, we took up and we put together a plan and continued through Washington. We brought it to Edwards Air Force Base. We brought it to our school districts. We brought it to our church and many other churches in the area. And then cutting across the field, in the year of 2000, we started what we call Justice Sunday. And that's, we brought that to our area. And as far as I'm concerned, anything that I can find that's going to be better for my community, I want to bring it to my community. And I don't want to look around to see who's going to say, oh, Henry did that. I just want to do it and make it happen. I just want to make our community the best it can be. And ladies and gentlemen, we can't do that if we want to make us the best we can be. But if we look around and say, forget me, and think about our community, we can get somewhere. This is what I shared with Pastor Doris and our assemblyman, our congressman, everybody else that I could find. And then closing out, I got a hold of this guy, and he helped me. We brought him to the city, and now he is helping every school that we have in our community to come together as one, to make, again, our community what? The best it can be. So I am so thankful, Nigel, and so thankful for all of you young people. And I want you to know, now I don't want you all to take this as something morbid. Every last one of us who are born is gonna die. Every living human being came here dying. Nothing wrong with that. That's a part of the system. So you guys are picking up from this brother and others, and you're moving on. And so when we're gone, you guys are just gonna keep on rolling. And so we are thankful for it. So thank you so much for letting me have this extra. Thank you so much.
Well, I won't keep you guys here too late. I just want to say thank you, Bishop. I'll give you the legacy of how this rolled out. So Bishop started mentoring me 22 years ago. When I came here, he said I was smart, but I had a bad attitude. It took him 22 years, and he says I'm still smart, and my attitude's a little better. Okay. I want to thank some people in the audience really quick. I want to thank our city manager.
Don't forget that.
Jason supports us every year. I want to thank Parks and Recs who allowed us to do a festival this year. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know if Sonia's still here. There she is over by the door. I want to thank Public Safety. Our new director, Rod, is here. I also have to thank Greg Nehan one more time, who allows us to work with all the students from all the comprehensive high school sites. But who I want to thank more than anything else is these students. All these young people that are on the stage who dedicated the last 24 days of their life to make this happen. And don't misconstrue it. These kids wrote this play in 24 days. Before I bid you guys a good night, I want to pull up all of the alumni. We have our first Justice Sunday alumni president who passed the torch on to India in the crowd tonight, so I'm going to ask you to come up, Joseph Ramirez, who helped us lay the foundation for the alumni. This brother just graduated a semester early from Morehouse. I got to thank my two kids. As you can see, I'm pulling on me. And again, all my alumni, if you guys could just step to the front real quick and take a bow. You guys allowed me to watch the show. Okay. With that being said, I want to thank our city council. I see Man in the audience. I see Doris in the audience. I see Raj Mali here earlier. I want to thank our city council for allowing us to do this. I want to give a big shout out to the Lancaster Performing Arts Theater. Julie and her team are great. They allow us to do this every year and work with us and help us with all of this lighting and make us look like it's like we know what we're doing. They make us shine. That being said, Bishop Hearns would like for all of you guys to please stand. And as you guys are standing, I want to give a shout out to our BSU. Yes, sir. And I don't know if Miss Pruitt is still here, but if she is, we want to thank Eastside High School and their theater team. All right. I'm going to hand this off to Bishop, and I thank you guys for coming out and supporting our youth.
Thank you so much. And I hope a prayer is not offensive to you. I want to say that my whole life, everything that I am and everything that I ever will be, yes, sir, is based on my relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. And I will not back off of that. No way in the world. So we're in something else.
No, I just want John to come out here.
You want John to come out? Okay.
Yeah, he's over here.
I don't need to say it. Hello. God bless you. Go ahead, Bishop.
And tell him he is our professional acting coach.
Go ahead.
And I wanted to call John out here because he is the one who comes out. He's the professional acting coach that helps us.
It's on you. It's on me? Okay, and I want to thank my daughter, Angela, and Sylvia for taking care of me. And I do all right walking around a little bit, but if I stand too long, these legs don't like to, They don't like it. But I am so honored and thankful for the opportunity to do this. So I hope that you will look forward to next year. And when you look forward and pray for our young people, that they will go forward, not as seeking to be black, seeking to be white, seeking to be brown, or any other culture, but just to be one united in America. I had an opportunity to go to Korea, to Japan, all over the Far East. And I found a lot in it, a lot of problems and a lot of inequities. And I found a lot of inequities in my country. But when I get through examining all of those and comparing to America, I'm happy with America.
Amen.
Let's pray. Our Father, we come to you tonight. And my mind goes back to some 55 years ago when you had a black preacher who just happened to be black. But somehow you sent him to America to remind America that she made a promise. And her promise is that all Americans would live in a system of equity. And we recognize that has not all been achieved yet. But Lord, we know for sure. Somebody mentioned today that without a dark midnight, there can be no morning. So we recognize that while we're in some of the inequities, we recognize that morning is coming. And God, we're going to trust you.
Yes, Lord.
And we're going to look forward that you will bring us to our senses.
Yes, Lord.
That you will not cause us to be Democrats or to be Republicans, but that we would be one America in the name of our Lord and Savior. Oh God, we thank you now, and we ask you to bless us, and particular blessing on these young people. And we thank you for Nigel Holly, who spent his time not only with his own children,
Yes, Lord.
but with the children of our community.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for our school system.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for our legal system.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. And we just ask you to bless us now and keep our mind as one. In the precious name of Jesus, we pray. And everybody who would agree with me would say, amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen. God bless you.